we are literally, what, 3-4 days into into 2020. And that's something to think about. Now, I promised you that I will be making an honorable mentions video, but I didn't just want to do an regular honorable mentions video. I wanted to get into some other companies. I wanted to talk about certain things that I got come here recently. I really wanted to get into why this decade in collecting may actually be, hey Jay, you're the first one here, dude. Hey Javed, the two J's. Maybe the most important decade we've had since physical media started. Hey Dudgeon. And there's a reason for that. Which it may sound odd, especially when you're talking about a time when like there's like streaming services and stuff like that. You would think that maybe it would take away from collecting and from like physical media. In actuality, companies couldn't rest on their laurels anymore. No longer was the DVD and the Blu-ray just being put out on its own be enough. In order to keep going and stay relevant and compete, companies had to change. They had to up their game. And in the last 10 years, it's gone insane. When I started collecting like movies again around 8 or 9 years ago, one of the first things that I picked up was the Lone Ranger box set. I'll check that out actually. Hey Dave. And I was really like surprised and stoked to get this Lone Ranger box set that had these like discs and cards and just a bunch of like poster type things and replicas and stuff. It wasn't the norm. It was something different and unique and special. Hey Michael, welcome. But nowadays, getting collector's editions has kind of become the norm. Something that we can look forward to getting on a regular basis. I remember when just getting a movie on Anchor Bay with a commentary or a couple interviews was a big deal. Now, hey Scorpion, welcome. I really like the Angel 3 as well. I watched it actually the night before last. Now we get this. So my better half surprised me with this. And hey Jacob, this is insane. I grew up like, if you're around my age or maybe even a little bit younger, you probably grew up watching these movies on on your local TV, usually around like usually Saturdays or Saturday nights or Saturday afternoons. So I actually like super wanted this, but thinking I wasn't going to get it, I didn't want her to see me bummed about it. So I would downplay this. Because I didn't want her to feel like, okay, she couldn't afford to get it right now. Because I know hint, she would feel. But she surprised me. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff. But yeah, who could have imagined, who would have thought around 10 years ago that somebody would be saying, you know what? Let's get that special deluxe edition of The Hills Have Eyes, Part 2, with a big poster and special features. I would not have bet money on that ever happening. I'm very spoiled. I actually was talking to her. She actually got to go out tonight for the first time with her sister at her friend's restaurant, like a restaurant, kind of like a bar place, nice bar. Scream Factory kicked in the face too from 5 years ago. Scream Factory did it. I mean, like Criterion, noticing that so many people were coming, decided to like really go in on it. Now, this is not where it started for Criterion though. Let's go back. I'm going to show that off a little bit. Don't worry, I'm very proud of that. For Criterion, it kind of started with this, the Zadichi box set, which has some striking similarities to the Godzilla one. So, hey, cat lover, welcome. Now, see, Zadichi, when this came out, oh yeah, I got a couple of things over there. I love to collect them all, actually. When the Zadichi set came out, people were like, this isn't, it's samurai, but it's not quite what Criterion normally does. It's because it's horrible. It's a bit more entertaining, as in it's not more so serious. And it's kind of like their James Bond. It's like an ongoing series, and later actually became a TV series. But the set was incredible. The original set had Blu-ray and DVD. And I think they trimmed it down afterwards to DVD, to Blu-ray only. I'm pretty sure. And it came with this book. Hello. And the neat thing about this book, and this is where it's going to come into to play again, is that every single movie was honored with its very own picture by different artists. Take note of that, by the way. Then, last year, Criterion upped the game by putting out, hands down, one of the most impressive box sets I've ever seen in my entire life. The Ingmar Bergman's Cinema Collection. Because this is not only pretty much a film festival, like a literal, week-long film festival in a box, but it's a full coffee table book included inside here as well. A huge, large coffee table book getting into Ingmar Bergman. So a lot of people wondered where they'd go from that. There was rumors, there was things that would go around, were they going to redo the Akira Kurosawa set? Somebody said Fellini because his birthday was coming up. And then, because they knew 1000 had to be something big. But was it going to be a single title, or was it going to be like something huge? Well, they took it quite literally, and they did something huge. This thing has 15 movies on it, and some alternate films as well. Now, much like the Zadichi set that I just showed you, this too includes art renderings for every single one of the films by a different artist with a different style. And it is gorgeous. They are all placed on the back too, like this, and some people could be concerned and take them out and put them into a sleeve or something like sleeves. But for now, I'm keeping them here like that because it is Blu-ray, and Blu-ray does not scratch easily. But I will eventually put them into in there. As for the films on here, well, it came with a huge, again, literally a coffee table book. Well, some of these are subtitled, and some of these are F subtitles and dubbing. They give you enough, around 7 or 8 dubbed, to give you the feel of watching the movies on Saturday afternoons. But still, it is Criterion. I do want to take that, their films as seriously as possible. So they will give you, unlike Code Red, they'll give you the actual language that it was in with subtitles. For some reason, Code Red is allergic to subtitling. So every time Code Red puts out another film that I want, I hope that, how long do they have the rights before somebody else can put it out? Or, well, I don't know, somebody in 88 films or something like that put it out. Because apparently, Code Red does not think that subtitles matter. The Akira Kurosawa set, Jav and I, I would have to have that one. That's me and my better half. That's one place where, that's one happy medium that we meet at. Like she's not going to watch Bergman. But she is going to watch the hell out of Zadichi and Godzilla, because that's the type of gal she is. And Akira Kurosawa was one of her first loves for film. As in, I like Black Christmas. That was my first love in film. One of her first loves in films, because she's much more fancy than me, was Kajimusha. And for me, I think the first Kurosawa that I saw was, oh God, which one was it again? I don't remember the name of it now, right now. But yeah. Me too. I mean, the World Cinema sets that were put out, we only got the BFI one so far, but I would love to have the Martin Scorsese World Cinema sets. Obviously, if he puts out a third volume, there's going to be some Marvel in there. because you know that's going to happen. Uh, anyway, there's a. Has she seen the? I don't know actually. I would have to ask her. There's a lot of movies that she's seen that one I don't know that she's seen. There's movies that she's seen that I'm pretty sure I have not seen. She's introduced me to some films as well. As much as I like to think I'm the worldly expert on this stuff, there's a lot of stuff that I'm still learning, and that's fun actually. Other things that were put out from different companies, things you've upgraded it, but just a couple years ago, the set that every TV mystery buff wanted finally came out. Twin Peaks: The Entire Mystery. If you're focused on horror, I recommend the Ringu set and the Ring set, and the also the one Missed Call trilogy could be fun too. Like you want to get in some like kind of Korean horror there as well. Now, I'm of the age that I grew up when this was kind of a thing. I would go to I go to class, and everybody would be talking about Twin Peaks. Everybody was either in love with Mad Shinamic or Cheryl Finn. Sherilyn Finn. It was usually one or the other, because me, of course, I was in love with Laura Palmer, and I loved the other character. I was so disappointed when they killed off her second character. But I remember picking this up, and now there's another big box set just to show you how things are going and they're amping up. Like things aren't winding down. Sleepwalkers, I love, man. I love that movie, and she is incredible. She's amazing in Riverdale right now, and she is still utterly gorgeous. I watch anything that she's in. One of these days, I'm going to conventions. She's going to be there. I'm going to fanboy it. And don't forget the girl with the jazzy soundtrack. But it wasn't the only TV series that finally got a release that I really wanted to see come out on Blu-ray. This came out. And this, if you don't have it and you like science fiction or horror type TV shows, this is glorious. This is insanely well done. And when I look at this, and I really love my Thriller DVD collection, right? Oh, you definitely do, man. This is what I want to see done. I want Kino to get the rights to Thriller. Image Entertainment put out a DVD collection of Thriller, a really good collection of it, by the way. Boris Karloff's Thriller, the TV show, years ago. It is time for Kino to get the rights to Thriller. Because once you look at these Outer Limits sets and you see exactly how much like work and features and all the stuff that was put into this stuff, you're gonna want Kino to be the one and only company to get Thriller. I do. I wish these are at Region A, but they're so good. These are so good. I really wish they weren't region locked. Oh yeah. He was upset about that, man. And he shouldn't have been, because Kino would have does great work on the stuff. He just wouldn't work with them. Well, that Dangerous Night's a deep cut. I remember that film. Well, the TV sets. Well, this one here was done by Paramount, like the Source Company, and the Outer Limits sets, which I strongly recommend, were done by Kuno Lorber, who also put out a kind of a cheesy show set, but I had to have it because I used to watch it when I was a kid. It didn't last very long, but a show called The Master. It was a ninja show. There was like a ninja craze in the 80s, and it was pretty much like started by Sho Kazuji, who actually is in the series The Master. So it all comes around, and Lee Van Cleef too. He was he was sick at the time, so The Master was a show that worked really well because it gave him steady work for that season, a steady paycheck, and health coverage there. So always important. Let's talk about a controversial one from my channel. And let's talk about one here. Hey, Ellen, that probably got eyes on my channel early on. The Charlie I need that. I love Walter Matthau. Walter Matthau is one of the most underrated actors, man. Back in my day, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, Walter Matthau was one of these actors that you kind of look forward to seeing. Same with Jack Klugman. Anything with Jack Klugman, I was there. But it seems like he's been kind of lost. There's these actors that like Walter Matthau, Jack Klugman, Elliot Gould, Peter Falk, just that should be much more noted than they are. Want to see one here that Scream Factory put out, kind of helped change the game and change my channel. Nightbreed. So this is the Nightbreed, the director's cut limited edition, with both the director's cut and the theatrical cut. Now, at the time, the theatrical cut could only be got like through, I think it was Warner Archives. Don't feel free to correct me if I mess that up. But a company like that, it was kind of a made-on-demand type of thing anyway. But Scream Factory got the rights to put out the director's cut, and they got the rights to put out the theatrical cut. Now, I go back and forth on which one I like better. Sometimes I actually do like the theatrical cut a bit better than the director's cut, and that's because it's the first one I saw. It's the one I'm used to. What I don't like very much is the Cabal cut. Or the way that I see it, let's throw everything on the wall and see what sticks. But I do, however, like these two cuts of the film. And if you're kind of curious as to why I said kind of changed my channel, is because early on, and I'm not sure how many of you guys will know this, I did a video lambasting what I'm holding in my hands. I was never going to buy this. Scream Factory should be ashamed of themselves. It costs too much. There's no way I would pay $70 for any film. Oh, that is the limited edition, yeah. As you can see, there was like 6,381 of 10,000. And shame on you, Scream Factory, I said. And I have this, and I actually bought a copy for my daughter as well, my oldest. So I do not know what Mystical is. But now I kind of want to know. Aside from that, I had this like really cool book in her. Yeah. Clive Barker didn't exactly do too much when it came to directing. He did a lot of writing. That's where I like to get my Clive Barker stuff at. See, Clive Barker wasn't going to do any directing at all initially. Then he saw Rawhead Rex. He really didn't like what they did with Rawhead Rex. So when the next movie was coming out, which was A Hellbound Heart, later Hellraiser, he said, if my book is going to be done, I'm going to do it because I want it done right. Myself, I like Rawhead Rex. It's a fun little cheesy monster movie, and it definitely has like it's fun. It's cheesy. That's sad to know. I'm a fan of Clive Barker's like work, like his directing and his books. I read a lot of his books. I find that some of them go a little bit. Later ones go a little bit in the Stranger vein. With the NECA figure. Yeah, I guess it would. I love the NECA figures and stuff like that, but I've never really. I haven't watched Boar yet. Trust me, when I do, you'll be the first to know. I'll let you know. Because I'll be reviewing it, I know. But no, it's never been into Clive Barker. It's definitely an acquired taste. Yeah, Michael, I can actually see that. Rawhead Rex is one of those. It's an insane film, and if you read much of Clive Barker's work, actually it is fairly close, especially in tone, to like source material that Clive Barker would do. Like it's got odd twists in it. It's got like a meanness that Clive Barker puts into a lot of his work. Just a harshness. And I'm not saying that's not an insult. That's a compliment. You saw it in theater. Oh man, I saw it just when it first came on VHS back in the day. Books of Blood. I grew up Scarlet. Now the latest one, what's it called? The Scarlet Bible, something like that. Oh man, Scarlet Work, whatever that was. It was interesting. It was interesting. But it was. Yeah, it was something. Scarlet Gospel, that's what's called, right? Do you enjoy? I love reading. I love science fiction, fantasy, horror, nonfiction. I was a writer after all, and you got to read to write. Like you do. I mean, the first thing that I ever picked up and read, like really, and kind of like really dove into, was Edgar Allan Poe's Tales of Mystery and Imagination. I love Terry Pratchett. I love the stuff. I love the work that he did. And I love Good Omens, by the way, with the one he did with Gaiman. But the late Terry Pratchett. Aren't they making his other book series into a movie now, into like his series now too, like his big book series? Oh, really? I did not know that. See, Alfred Hitchcock. Again, an amazing set. They put this out on DVD with I think one or two less films. They put it out on this limited edition, and yet again this year they put out a House of Hitchcock Psycho set with just pretty much redoing this set right here with I think maybe one other film on there. If you got it in the UK, but you missed out on something else, whether it's features or something, there's a trade-off. I did a video about the Alfred Hitchcock sets, the ones that came out, the house sets, but there's a trade-off if you bought like the UK, you got more films, but you're missing out on something. But I can't remember what it was. When you guys let me know, and we talked about it on here. But still, I go to this set and I watch this like constantly. Shadow of a Doubt is probably exact. Can you imagine that, Michael? It's $20 for the DVD set is gorgeous too. I would like. My dad has the DVD. I got the Blu-ray. I'd like to have the DVD as well, which sounds kind of greedy, but I want them both because the DVD set is gorgeous looking. It's got this kind of like this red kind of velvety look to it that I really enjoy. And this has this is the more the avant-garde kind of Hitchcockian look. Joseph got in my favorite film, Shadow of a Doubt. Well, one of my favorite films. It's definitely in the top 10. Though, when Shout Factory started, they weren't originally doing Scream Factory. Scream Factory was an offshoot label. So when I discovered Shout Factory, I discovered it through the Roger Corman collection. My better half was a huge fan of Piranha. After all, she did get her master's in marine biology. I have my film in Slasher Film 101, and this set was a mecca for me. This was like, remember when the Angel set came out on Blu-ray? So when this came out on DVD, same level of excitement. I love the Angel set, and I've watched it all now, and I realize I do love the Angel set. But this was amazing. And then later on, this came out. I got to get the first one. First one's still available, but on Blu-ray. But here's like Summer Party Massacre 2 and 3. But here's the DVD edition. It has all three of them on there. It does have the documentary as well. And, of course, audio commentaries in each of the films. So some really cool stuff. I'm not quite sure if there's anything new at all on these here. I think the fact that... do these have the unrated versions? I'm not quite sure. But I know that this here has the R-rated and unrated versions of these films. I'm not quite sure if this does or not. I have to look back in. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Oh, yeah, exactly, Jay. Well, Shout Factory has the rights to Corman. Now, they bought like the rights to Corman. I'd say that the only reason that it's been going slower than you're imagining, than like most of us are imagining going, is probably because of the lawsuit that his kids put out about them selling the rights to all the films, because they think that they deserve it. I'm not joking. That's the thing. With a figure. Yeah, I know. Gotta love those figures. If I ever go to the U.S., like to visit again, then I've been to the U.S. to visit since I was a kid. Though we have some friends in New York, actually, so that's one place I like to visit. I've never been to New York. Original, the Blu-ray upgrade. Why did this get so expensive? Why was this one so limited? That always blows my mind. Like when I found out that this thing was out of print, I was shocked because I grabbed this one like kind of on a whim because I wanted to just upgrade it during like a Scream Factory sale. Yeah, I had no idea. A lot of this times, Michael, I really don't know before these things. Yeah, I'm never the type where like, yes, I think I'll buy this movie for it shall be out of print. San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Grand Canyon. That's farther than me. I've been to Maine. Not Maine, really. I lived in Ontario. Dude, if you can get that Summer Party Massacre Blu-ray set for $80, that's actually a good price. But speaking of things that Shout Factory did, which came out more recently, there was this. And I went in fairly early with number 6, so this was Nighthawks. So this is the Shout Select. This was the other label that I love to go to San Francisco. I used to watch that TV show, Streets of San Francisco, with Michael Douglas and Carl Malden. So the Shout Select one was kind of a blanket thing where they could put in a lot of different like types of films. So they put out this, and then, and of course, they put out Valley Girl, which is an amazing film. It was talked about on Just This podcast, by the way. If you have not listened to the Just This podcast about Valley Girl, listen to it. It's really, really good. Actually, Brian talks with his wife on that one. Hey, morning, Cool Blue. Yeah, they've been putting out a lot of great stuff to show. And I was lucky enough to be able to grab 2 of these before these went out of print. I did know these were going out of print, so I just grabbed these up right away because I really want to Return the Dragon and I really want to Fist of Fury. Out of the 4 of them, these were my 2 favorites. Like I wanted Game of Death, I wanted like the other ones, but these 2 I had to have. Features are great on here too. You're lucky. I should have grabbed them all. I was like, okay, I'll grab one, then I'll grab another one. I grabbed the Golden Harvest ones that came out too, by the way. Is he still going? Man, way to go, Kirk Douglas. Also, I just wanted to mention, I remember that there was that the newer one or the older one that was put out? I remember one was put out by Shout Factory at one point that was really controversial. They put out like almost like a book-like thing of it. And people complained. I don't know why. I can't remember right now. Oh, in the UK, no, then I don't have it yet. I'll be getting more stuff from the UK I'm guessing when I go to London, which is going to be, hopefully, if we work it out right, once I move to a Golden Heart. Once we move to Morocco, that's where I'm going to have to do my movie shopping at. So if any of you guys are from the UK, maybe I will see you there sometime. Get you on video if you're not too shy. All right, so Blue Underground started a revival. And, dude, you know I got to visit FOP. Covenant Gardens, FOP, that's my jam, man. That's my place. Started putting out things like Dario Argento's The Stendhal Syndrome, which, by the way, this is glorious. I do love this one. 2-disc set, tons of features. Basically, it took all the features from the original big release of this and made it as a bonus disc as well. Dude, if you're ever going to talk about lack of hair, oh, dude, you got to see this, Jab. Really, it's worth checking out. This is one that they did with Zia Argento, and it's definitely a stronger psychological thriller than certain ones, and it is gorgeous. It combines a bit of giallo, a bit of psychological thriller, and a bit of the kind of the artistry that Argento would use in movies like Suspiria and stuff like that. Like looking in the mirror. You handsome devil, you. But what really brought them around, what really brought like Blue Underground to the forefront is this: the lenticular covers. When they started redoing some of their most seminal releases with soundtracks and special features and new 4K restorations, and just putting off these lenticular covers, I'm not gonna lie, I can do this all night with the zombie. It revitalized Blue Underground. It made them a company that people had kind of forgotten about and kind of wondered, hey, are they still around? To a company where people that are now kind of excited about their releases. Now, I know some people got, I could not afford that, man. That cost me like, do you know, it's like $40 for this release here, and that was a good price for it. I do a Diagnosis of Murder box set. I'm a huge Diagnosis of Murder fan. Hey, Mike, welcome. Oh, dude, I'm in love. My God, his head is bigger than mine. Why are they so dear? Well, I guess because of the work that's put into it, the the particular editions or limited editions. I was totally surprised. I filmed a portion of a video a few days back, trying to be be less excited about Godzilla, thinking I wouldn't get it, because I was concerned that my better half was going to watch my video in Morocco and say, "Oh no, damn, I couldn't get it to him." So I'm sneaky that way. No, there's no DVD version of. Well, I guess maybe there is, but from another company, not from Criterion. Oh yeah, Synapse is actually. Synapse started out. Originally, Synapse started out basically. There was a guy, and he was working at a. He was in the Laserdisc. The guy that started with Synapse. He was a huge Laserdisc fan. So the first couple Synapse releases were actually put on Laserdisc. He actually did a version of Night of the Living Dead on Laserdisc. Till eventually he ended up working with another guy because his original partner. There was apparently some sketchiness behind the scenes with his original partner, Don May Jr. Thanks. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not too sure about this." So he went off, and he found a new partner, and they started working together, and they've been together ever since. Doing Synapse has slowed down a bit. I think Synapse needs that. They've had the big releases, but I feel like Synapse, with as much like great stuff as they're doing, like they're working on Kindred, they did Suspiria, they got Suspiria 4K coming out. They need to find their place again. They had like the Steelbook thing it's good, but I don't think it's the spot. I don't think Synapse got to refine their bearings. And that being said, I've got a lot of Synapse releases that are fantastic with great transfers, and they take time to do the work, and you can tell they take time to do the work. But there's people like Vinegar Syndrome and companies like that are still putting out great transfers too, just like Synapse. And they're coming out on a regular basis, and they don't have. Pretty much is the same thing. There's very few people working in Vinegar Syndrome. There's very few people working at Synapse. It's amazing when you realize like some of these companies that we talk about so much, and I'm definitely getting that Dawn of the Dead and the Martin one, that we talk about so much, how few people are actually behind the scenes when it comes to that. It's bloody brilliant what they're able to do. So okay, bad need be damned. We're going to walk around a little bit now. We're going to look at some stuff here that I think is kind of cool that came out. I really want the Rebirth of Mothra Chody. That's amazing. I love that, and I need to get the Gamma one too. I know, maybe you never know, but let's go with a TV one. Not quite time for tea yet. As far as some of the biggest releases that ever came out were, this one's up there. Like, this is strongly up there in what I consider one of the great releases of the decade. The Batman 60 series was a seminal part of like my youth and my dad's youth. For me, it was reran on a TV here in Canada on a TV show called like Switchback, which had like music videos, and it would alternate between Batman and the Munsters, and from week to week. I was always more excited when the Batman episodes. Although I love the Munsters, I was always more excited when the Batman episodes came around. I remember when this came out. we found it at Best Buy, and it was on during Boxing Day, and there was like a big sale on Amazon, and at the time they were still matching prices, but they didn't match sale prices. But the person that was working at the store at the time matched the sale price, so they're really cool actually. The Amazon Boxing Day sale price. So we picked it up. It was the only copy that was there at the time. I can't open this because copyright thing I'll get struck by copyright with the music. But it is glorious. I've got a little bit of Voltron. So that's what's copyright Voltaren on my knee. So hopefully that's going to make it less painful for me walking around. Now, let's see if we can do this without killing myself. This may fall. We're going to give it a shot. 88 Films brought themselves like really into you know, they were known for a company that did like Full Moon, they did Troma. That was kind of their thing for like a long period of time. But then they started to brand, and they started to brand like really smartly. They opened it up with their Slasher Classics collection. They put them in red cases. They gave them like a ton of special features. It got attention, and they're all numbered. And the earlier Slasher Classics collections actually had booklets very similar to the ones that you would find in Twilight Time releases. You know, just small 4-page booklets. But the information on them was usually really good and was really entertaining. They actually dropped the booklets pretty soon into its run, unfortunately. When they realized that the Slasher Classics collection was doing really well, they didn't stop there. So their next one was to do the Italian collection. And you got a lot of really cool like stuff on here. You got Giallos, like Poliziatas, which I'm sure I just pronounced wrong, cannibal films, zombie movies. And after that, I don't have any of them, but they did like a series of Japanese horror ones as well. They've been doing a lot of really good stuff. So got to give credit to 88 Films and the stuff that they've done and how much they've come up. The Vulcan. Oh yeah, the Vulcan. I forgot about that. That's more recent, wasn't it? I don't have any of those. That's the thing, right? And the other company known for the red would be this one right here, Mondo. And Mondo Macabra, it was pretty incredible. Basically, it was a company made by a guy that made a book called Mondo Macabra, talking about, well, genre cinema, exploitation cinema around the world. And he realized that it was really hard for him to find exploitation cinema for him to write about. So he decided, well, if nobody else is going to be putting it out, why don't I? So he did. Pretty much, yeah. Mondo Macabra is like it's a very small company. Basically, one guy, maybe a couple of other guys, like kind of working with him, but it's one guy pretty much running it and doing most of the work. So many great companies and so many great releases. Even MVD Rewind is a more recent start. He did Grindhouse releasing. Sage Stallone was the one behind Grindhouse releasing. So if you got the Grindhouse releasing version of Pieces, or I Drink Your Blood, or Corruption, or The Swimmer, or any of those, you can thank Sage Stallone for that, because he was the guy behind that. He was a huge proponent for Grindhouse cinema before a lot of people were really into it. Sage was a really smart guy, actually. I can't get your last message yet. I got to go back there. But when I do, I'll check it. This standing thing is hard on me. Oh, this is so going to fall soon. Speaking of Grindhouse, we definitely should mention them. Because unfortunately Sage did pass on, but Grindhouse is still going on. But some of the great releases, for instance, were things like the I Drink Your Blood, which is actually 3 films. There's I Drink Your Blood, I Eat Your Skin, and the third one's called, what's it called again? Sextet or something like that. Blue Sextet, yeah, there it is. I love this release. This is a really cool release. I actually really like this film. The first film that Lynn Laurer was in, by the way. And Pieces. As you guys know, Pieces is one of my favorites. Hands down, one of my favorite films. And I love this cover. I have the Arrow edition of that as well. But both of these are Grindhouse releases, Javid. So So they were doing kind of like the bigger, thicker stuff before Blue Underground was. So Blue Underground kind of upped it with the lenticular cover and putting in the soundtracks. But these here are loaded with stuff. This one here, I think Pieces does have the soundtrack actually. One of the earlier releases that was stuff like Peter Cushing in Corruption. I gotta make sure I got the right. So this is a dual one. Did you really met? Is she sweet in person? Because she seems really, really sweet. Are they really? I didn't know they were in print. What's counter with this one is this is a very different Peter Cushing. Like he's kind of an evil, evil character. The alternate artwork to this has the things except the girl's nude. So I got the nun. I guess the least offensive artwork on there. And I did that tonight. I would love to meet her. I remember on Instagram once, I put like a Lynn Lowery thing on there, and she messaged me, and I thought it was really sweet of her. It was really, really nice. But there's a ton of things come out from different companies. Something I never thought I was going to get, Tinto Brass, the Tinto Brass collection from Cult Epics. I think this might actually be able to print now too. But if it's not, definitely pick it up. It's a really cool release. You get 4 Tinto Brass films on here, and you get an extra like thing where I think Tinto Brass talks for like over 2 hours, maybe 3 hours long. It's a long, like a really long interview. And it's pretty much, it's not like a retrospective. It's literally, it's him. It's a sit down, him kind of talking to the interviewer type of interview. But it's fascinating. And if you're a Tinto Brass fan at all, The Key is a great release. I got to rewatch The Key. I haven't seen it in years. Then we got stuff like, I actually do think like all the other stuff's come out. Eventually I figured Danger Diabolique has got to get a release. Look at how much has come out over the years. Companies like Second Sight also got a resurgence. And now with stuff like When a Stranger Calls and what they did on The Changeling, I think it was them that did Changeling, isn't it? This is Second Sight, isn't it? Make sure I'm right. Great releases. MVD Rewind's so good. Do you have, and I'm going to say it because I always say this when I come on here, this, because you need this. You truly do need this. This is a great release. Hands down, one of my surprise releases that I did not know was going to be so good. We saw ones come and maybe go, like Vestron Video, which started really strong and then all of a sudden just kind of disappeared. Hopefully we're going to see like a return to Vestron Video in the new year. You have to get that one, dude, trust me. Every special feature that you watch of those big documentaries on any of your MVD Rewind releases, you know, those like making of like Showdown and the ones done with like the Lionheart and stuff like that, those making ofs are all made by the guy that directed that film. Because he got into they always say that, but I no longer believe that's true. Look at your last massage. Your last massage. Okay. I'd still get it. I'm okay with tiny subtitles. I'll like enhance the screen. I just don't want those Gamera films. They're so good. They're so good. Was that their last release? Did Dagon come after that though? Or was Dagon before it? Dagon was before that, right? I get mixed up. I didn't get a lot of their. I didn't get some of their last releases. Getting attacked by the maniac over here. I'm sorry, maniac. There are no mannequins over here. And no, you cannot scalp me. There's a lot of other great releases that have come out. More than I can do on one video. But that being said, what are some of your favorite releases? What are some things that really stand out that you're glad yeah, came out. That it, big release, a special release. What's special to you? He is a flying turtle, but it's just, he's a friend of all kids, but gets really dark in the new series. Uh, Only in the third one, especially. Best thing about the Gamera set is that on one of the films, Gamera does the commentary. You got to see that to believe it. I'm not joking. That's the thing. Air window box. I love the air window box. I would love to see like just return, like maybe every once in a while, Cold Blue to do like a special air window box release. The Uzu really. I don't have any Uzu. I'm waiting for it to get a big, like set Uzu set. Hey Ricky, welcome, dude. By the way, because I'm showing everybody this, because I'm super stoked. If you're a Godzilla fan, Herschel Gordon Lewis box set. That's one of the ones I had over there that I was going to show actually tonight, because I wanted to like get into the fact that like box sets have gotten bigger, and I've got one of the big box sets, but there was an even bigger like Herschel Gordon, like a Shock Gore Herschel Gordon Lewis set that was huge with like a book, and I think it had a vinyl in it as well, and I got the Sierra box one. I think that's magnificent. It's a superior 4K release. For some people, for me, the Angel set, which I put into my top releases yesterday, that's why I didn't have to say it. And by the way, I can now rate the Angel films in my preference, and that is 1, 3, 2. That's my preference in the Angel films. Psycho box set. There's so many cool releases that came out. Like when you really think about it, things that you never thought were going to happen. For me, like a really big one for me, like what hits me in kind of like what the kids would call the feels. Definitely, that just killed that saying. Uh, the Doctor Who box sets. Like nobody, I never thought as a Doctor Who collector that they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we're going to put it in series now," because they were making so much money after putting it like one serial at a time. Never thought we were going to get Doctor Who sets, but we did, and it's glorious. It's fantabissimo. The Hellraiser set, the Phantasm set, the fact that there was dueling Phantasm sets. Whoever thought that was going to happen? That you're going to get like, you had to wonder. Oh, I love those films, Ricky. They're personal favorites. Saw them Miranda, unfortunately passed too soon. The LA Scream Factory, yeah. It's cool that you got something that's kind of a deep cut that's personal to you. I love that when that happens. I'm just shocked at the fact that we're getting stuff coming out now that I would never have imagined would ever get a release, especially like a really good release. I'm jealous. I need that Marlene Dietrich set, because I missed out on the original like Criterion that they put out when they put out like their set of the Sternberg one, but and then I'm still haven't got the Indicator one, which I really need to get, and I got to get the fourth set for. I need that too. Brian actually from Just the Disc actually told me I need to get the Abbott Excel set. Sets. Every single one of those Vinegar Syndrome sets that were announced, the Italian Giallo, the Spanish horror sets. I'm sorry if I'm like slurping my tea, but I'm very, very thirsty, and I had a very bad like scratchy throat tonight. I actually contemplated not making a video because of it. But I don't sound too bad, do I, guys? I'm trying to enunciate as best as I can, but my voice has gone a little bit. Quiet. Ooh. Man, I got through those a lot faster than I expected to. It'll depend. I mean, Star Wars 4K set, I love Star Wars. My better half will get it even if I wasn't going to get it. If there's a 4K comes out of Star Wars, comes out of Indiana Jones, that's her jam, man. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to see a Jazz set. Jazz 4K set. Maybe not the whole series, but like at least the first film. But because Jazz is one of those, it's a seminal classic. Man, when you really think about it, what, 1995 DVD started? That's not that long ago. And what year did Blu-ray start? I'll definitely be buying more 4K. I still got to get the Batman movies in 4K. I only have those on a DVD set so far, but I really need to upgrade the serious Batman trilogy, quadrilogy, on to 4K. House of Force Part something. I like it because Michael Caine is in it. That's my horrible Michael Caine impression. There you go. You know what my favorite Michael Caine movie is? Shock to the System. I think DVD was 95 originally. I'd have to go back and look. Trust me, I've been wrong so many times. Do you mean with the voltage? Do you live in the UK? Or are you looking to get like a region-free player? Does anybody know? Because I'm not as techy as some people on here are that would know this. What's my favorite Just Franco releases? Oh, man. Devil's Honey is one of them. No, it's not Lucio Fulci. Man, I'd have to go back and look. You're in the States. And you want it to run like on like... What is the voltage in the US? Is it 120? Because you can just get like a regular region-free player. Some people say, well, we're a bit slow down and that type of stuff. But really, there's no... It's barely noticeable. I know that in our place in Morocco, then basically, actually, region free actually can be pretty inexpensive if you look around. Tracy, there's actually some pretty inexpensive players. The Sikis that I picked up at the time, and like also when you're looking, don't just look online. Like if you got like local like electronic shops or pawn shops or stuff in the area, I always check them too. I actually found a Siki there once, and they with the remote, you gotta have the remote with it, because that's how you put in your code for the region. They make it go region free, and you can usually pick up those when you find them for around like 40 or 50 bucks, like max. $100 if you get them into a brand new one, a Canadian Tire. Well, yeah, of course in the U.S., but well, I guess it's equivalent if it's still there and still available. Oh, Ricky asked basically, we can purchase a Blu-ray player from the UK that runs on 120 volts. Cash on Demand is excellent, and you're right, it is kind of a Christmas movie, and a forgotten Christmas movie too. Oh, that could be on my list next year. I used to Ragman, I was buying everything Region A, and then, then of course getting Region 2 releases because I got a Region free player. Now I'm going to an area where it's going to be more Region 2. I'm looking more towards Region 2 releases and getting as much of the Region A stuff out of the way right now as I can. Buy it up before I travel. Because I know when I do travel and when I buy stuff, I'm going to be going to Halifax or Newfoundland to see the kids, and or I'm going to be going to London to shop for my video releases. Voltage converter, good idea. That's what we're getting done in our house, Alan, in the condo. We're because I want to be able to watch, use my devices over there. We're actually getting basically a voltage converter just to flick the switch and just to change it. But Alan's right. That's the best idea, is to go for the voltage converter. I was looking into that a while back. But you're in UK anyway, so you already get the Region 2 releases. So for like somebody over here, it's novel. It's a novel idea, right? To go to, oh my God, we got an Arrow release. Like, it was a huge deal for me when I walked into Fops and picked up The Hills Have Eyes on release date. I'd never done that. Oh, Shameless. Oh, dude, Ricky, there are some great titles there. I'll go over some of the Shameless stuff later on. If I don't do this video, I'll do it in another video. I'll give you a lot of. I've done Seamus videos before. Check them out. Washing machine, movies like that, like such good. Sister Ursula. Do you like Sleazy Giallo? Because Sleazy Giallo, ton of that on Shameless. No reason for even Arrow released Suburbs. I can thank Horrorhound Magazine for me going region free. Like hands down, Horrorhound Magazine was the reason I went region free. They did a article on Arrow video, and that turned me region free. Because the next day, I picked up like the Gates of Hell trilogy that came out from Aerodrome, because there was no like big like Blu-rays of it at that point, and I wasn't sure because I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I wasn't sure I was going to spend the extra money on it. And now the Aerodrome one, Gates of Hell trilogy, I'm not sure if that's available anymore. You guys can let me know in the UK. But you remember the old Horrorhound, like, Gates of Hell trilogy? The Aerodrome one? Anytime when I really feel like it, to be completely honest with you. Arrow's got great stuff. Like that shelf right there, Tracy, all that, where you see where the big breasted like Russ Meyer, that entire shelf, everything there, all the way down, that's all Arrow. That's all Arrow releases. I'm a huge fan of their stuff, and I got more stuff upstairs as well, because I have stuff in my display cabinets. Well, that's where my Criterion stuff's going back to. You got to. I will convince you, Kat. I will convince you. We chat every once in a while. I'll convince you. There's so much glorious stuff. Do you know what happens if you go region free? Hold on. I think the Voltaren is starting to wear off a little bit. But I can't take any more till tomorrow, so let's do this. Arrow Video. Hands down, one of the great companies of all time. All this shelf is Arrow Video, everything all the way down here. Arrow Video put out such amazing things for movies that I thought only I liked, as the limited edition releases of With No Eye. I love this cover and I love this artwork, but this had there were 3 different covers to this. RoboCop, I put that as one of my great releases of the decade in the video last night. I don't think I've actually even seen Chariot. I saw the first Chariot, so I haven't seen the rest. Arrow Video will give you things like 6 Gothic Tales, where you can not only watch some amazing Vincent Price films, but you can go back to your childhood and you gotta watch it, man. And read some comics as well, which, as a comic book fan, this was super cool. Am I getting you yet, Kat? Am I getting you? The Ringu set. They put out the ring set twice. Although this one doesn't have the book, I really love. You'll get pets the labels, dude. Trust me, because the content in it is so good. And for a lot of these here, you can reverse the stuff. The Fly. This was incredible. If you want to see when Arrow did Criterion, and I love Criterion. This edition of Thief, now to print. This is one that I know is out of print, but still, I think able to get for a reasonable price. Put out by Arrow, has both versions of the film. Only one version is on the Criterion edition, and also this looks way better than the Criterion edition of Thief, and it is gorgeous. You got box sets like the complete Sartana. Some classic, amazing stuff, hands down, the best release of Videodrome, and the sexiest looking release as well. The Bava set. See, that'll tempt you to get it. And even when they started out, man, their battle royale set was awesome. This is just for the first film. Like this is for the original battle royale. Oh, the thing. The thing is like sex on wheels, man. Do I have it down here? Or is it upstairs? Because I watch the thing on a regular basis. Look at this. Just go look at the Scream Factory like cover of the thing, and then just kind of gaze at this for a second. This is incredible. This is when you want to see, when you say, well, artwork on a cover. This is artwork. Region free, man. Because this is a Region B release. And to just see the range and stuff. And back in the day, they released the Russ Meyer collection. Just putting that out there. It was one of the first things I bought from Arrow, which gets to kind of tell you a bit about me, I guess. But they kept putting out such great stuff, from steelbooks to special limited editions to the Hellraiser set. Eventually you'll find it, Javid. You'll find it around somewhere. And because somebody mentioned, I might as well show one of them here. Which one to show? I guess we'll go for that one. These are their old school like window boxes. These are amazing because you could choose between one of four different covers for the artwork. You'd get like a big poster on the inside. You get a booklet. These were the window box releases. They're on Blu-ray. There's kind of like, they were limited editions. Eventually, unfortunately, stopped doing the window box releases. I wish they still made them. Even some of their DVDs are window box releases as well. Like I've only got I got 6 Arrow Video window box releases and 3 Arrow Academy window box releases and 1 Arrow Video DVD window box release. There's definitely a few of them. I missed out on a lot of them. Obviously I came in late. Oh, dude, did you get Martin? Did you get Martin Love's window box release? I don't, Tracy. The Phenomenon Limited Edition is one of my white whales. I've always been looking for that one, and it came when they had the big warehouse sale. I went to buy it, and it was sold out by the time I got there. But I was so pissed at the time. But it was definitely one of my white whales. Let's put you back here. A lot of these here are empty right now because I've actually put a lot of them away to actually bring to Morocco. Obviously, my Region 2 releases are going to go first, but I got to choose stuff that I'm going to be watching over the next year, right? You know, one of my favorite releases. I got Down to Dead, so that's not one of my white whales. I actually have the Ultimate Edition one. Not enough people talked about this one, and I think it's a bloody shame because it was a really good set. And this here is the the Bob Hoskins set, The Long Good Friday, and Mona Lisa. Long Good Friday is up there with my favorite films of all time. I love The Long Good Friday. I don't know how many times I've watched The Long Good Friday. If you've never seen it, please make sure, if you like my channel, check out The Long Good Friday. It's a really great film with Bob Hoskins in it. An early role for Pierce Brosnan as well. This was a great set. This was an incredible set. If you liked him in Roger Rabbit, you're going to like him in a different way in in The Long Good Friday. And he's really good in Mona Lisa too. It's also a very good film. It's just that The Long Good Friday kind of stands out for me. Oh, dude, you're saying okay? Come on, that is a fantastic film. And the more you watch it, you know, you get like different aspects of it and the characters. And nobody's, except for Bob Hoskins really, is exactly the way that you think they are. There's always just a bit more beyond the surface. There's always a bit more to scratch. And I utterly love that. Like that's a movie that I do say, check it out. Kind of like To Live and Die in L.A. To Live and Die in L.A. is one of my favorite films of all time. And how was that not on my list last night? Because that is a brilliant film with great acting and a fantastic score and Michael Mann's cinematography, which works perfect for that style film. If you're around my age, or even like 5 or 10 years younger, then Michael Mann is going to be someone that you probably are familiar with. Because he did some amazing stuff. Like, people forget Michael Mann now. Like, they'll remember maybe something like Heat, but they'll forget about like his great work with To Live and Die in L.A. and Miami Vice. A TV series that was literally a movie every week. Yep, that was him. That was him. William Peterson. Brian Cox playing Hannibal Lecter. The first time you see Hannibal Lecter on screen. That's him. And I don't have the film actually, which I should get. Screen Factory put a really good edition, but I don't have yet. You got to see Miami Vice. Like going from the first season, you really got to start from the beginning. Understand it's a TV show, but the quality of the show. Yeah, did he? I forgot that was him, Dave. But I remember Band of the Hand. The quality of the show Miami Vice is literally like, it seriously is one of those shows that I just like, from the cinematography to the acting to the guest stars that they got there, to like the music, that they're able to procure. And the good thing about, like, if you buy the DVDs or the Blu-rays, like all the music is there. Like in a lot of TV shows that have like replacement music, like even for some of the theme songs, when Booker PI came out, the song "Hot in the City," the Billie Eilish song "Hot in the City," which was the theme song to the show, was gone. No, not the Jamie Foxx one. Forget that one. Watch the original TV series. I know Michael Mann did that one too, but nope. No. Yeah, no. Oh, Tracy, let us know how how the voltage thing works out, and have a great night there. I'm heading out soon too because Mindy's killing me. Don Johnson is incredible. I remember he had a short-lived music career too. Near Dark is another one that needs a good release. Somebody just mentioned that actually. Was that you? Oh, Don Johnson definitely. Don Johnson definitely aged well. I remember watching him. Well, I think he was a sheriff in, and I haven't seen many of the episodes, but the From Dusk to Dawn series. He was in the first episode of that. A lot of these actors like end up aging like pretty well. Like I'm thinking, I would like to look like those actors in their 50s, like right now. But yeah, sadly not. Oh, Keanu Reeves, Paul Rudd. The guy doesn't age. Like Paul Rudd now, Paul Rudd in the Nintendo commercial, Super Nintendo commercial, not a huge difference. You know the movie that Jeff Bridges did that needs to get a special release? I don't know if it did or not. If it did, please let me know. But there was Jagged Edge. It's a movie called Jagged Edge. And it was Jeff Bridges and Glenn Close. And it if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's a really, really good thriller. Palmer, oh, Starsky and Hutch. Do you know my better half tried to ruin Starsky and Hutch for me by letting me know that Starsky and Hutch had a theme song in France. So here in North America, like a lot of those shows like Dallas and Starsky and Hutch, they were instrumental theme songs. There's no words to to the songs. But having a theme song that had like actual like singing in it, words in it, was a big deal over in Europe. So when they would redo like when they put in the dubbing for their for Dallas and Starsky and Hutch and shows like that, when they kind of port them over there, they thought that the instrumental wasn't going to work right to get a European audience. So they would actually had singing to the instrumental. Kind of like when they taken Star Wars theme song and making it to a song. So trust me, you can go online. You can actually check out. Starsky and Hutch has one of those really, really good, like instrumental theme songs. Like just seriously, just go and look at the not now, don't be now, the like Starsky and Hutch, French theme song. Very different. Same with Dallas. The car was sexy. That's like the car in Miami Vice. Well, the two cars in Miami Vice actually, because they lost the rights to one car, they had to give it up, and they gave him another car. That's why I think in the second season. Hey there, was it the second season or the beginning of the third, when they have where they have to really smash the car in Miami Vice and get that brand new car. Yeah, he did. He had a big hit. Don Johnson had kind of a seminal, like a smaller hit too. A lot of those people, like Patrick Swayze had "She's Like the Wind," which I was on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. I have all 4 seasons of Starsky and Hutch on DVD, and I'm super proud of it because that show. Now you're gonna have that song stuck in my head, but don't give up on us. Oh my God, it is stuck in my head. But the Starsky and Hutch holds up really well. A lot of the '70s like cop shows really do hold up, really stand the test of time. That's the song I was trying to remember. I'm like, Heartbeat. I remember when that came out because I think John Johnson's work did a movie around that time. I got it here somewhere. I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but it was one of those action movies. Anyway, Ron Jeremy, who was like a porn actor, was in it. I think he did like he was like he's an explosives expert too. Like so I think he worked on that part of it as well. Sam's Out creeped me out. There's a movie that needs a good release. That's where Dead Bang. Yeah, it was Dead Bang. You're on point tonight, man. I don't like to look at Dakota Johnson and think Don Johnson. I really don't, because I think she's really cute. Yeah, Ron Jeremy's actually kind of like way smarter than the guy looks. He's a kind of really a sharp guy. I love Quinn Martin. Barnaby Jones. I loved Barnaby Jones. Huge Buddy Epson fan. I wasn't so big on like my grandparents were really into Beverly Hillbillies. Like they loved it. Every Sunday it would come on, they'd watch it, and and if I was there, they'd sit down and kind of begrudgingly watch it too, and look at Donna Douglas. But I wasn't big into it. I like it more now than I used to. But I think as a kid I was still like, no, this is I'm too snobby for this. This silly Beverly Hillbillies stuff. But I would watch like the hell out of those, like I guess one kind of their predecessors, the Monty Python films. But I grew up on Quinn Martin. I grew up on all those '80s stuff. I remember Matt Houston, which was Lee Horsey, I think, in that series. I'm not sure if that was Quinn Martin or not though. Ironsides. Yes, my better half's a huge Ironsides fan. Hill Street Blues, as far as I know, Ole, there's only, I think maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons that have been put out. I don't think, is there a good Hill Street Blues box set? Guys, because if there is, I don't know it. Oh, I love Cannon. Cannon, Ironside, oh, God, what's his name? Mannix, love Mannix. Oh, there you go, right there. Okay, the great minds think alike. Yeah, Longstreet. I don't own Longstreet, but I would like to. Bruce Lee's in that one too. Well, that's where Jane Francisco plays the blind guy, right? That's the one. See, I used to watch a lot of that stuff. I don't know if I'm old enough to have grown up in Rhode Island, but they'd show a lot of it in reruns. Vegas, I loved. Spencer for Hire. Was around the time that when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. The Equalizer. Loved The Equalizer. Another great show. That if you have never seen The Equalizer, I've got the complete Man from U.N.C.L.E. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, dude. One of the prides in my collection. Oh, it's not here. It's upstairs. So I got a Man from U.N.C.L.E. box set. That's like that looks like a briefcase. I was always surprised that there weren't more of these these puffy sets put out. You remember these puffy sets, guys? I guess they didn't kind of catch on. Like there's a few of them. There's that one. There's the Catherine Deneuve puffy set. We had a bigger part. It was Kato, or as you would say, probably the most interesting part of of that. I love the Green Hornet, but still, Girl from U.N.C.L.E. was Stephanie Powers, I think. Was it Stephanie Powers? I think. Short-lived, but I remember that. I don't own it though. The cartoon puppies that we got some of the releases, and we need to get the other releases the Kino put out for Pink Panther. We're really big Pink Panther cartoon fans, actually. And who doesn't love those? Green Hornet. Well, I didn't know. I automatically say Green Hornet. Heart to Heart. When they met, it was murder. I like Heart to Heart a lot, actually. Miss Magoo. I love Miss Magoo's Christmas Carol. That one's really cool. Freeway. That's very different. We come from like a TV show to Freeway, and Freeway's a bit of a darker film. But if we're thinking of the same thing, I wanted to get some of those like cheesy shows I used to watch, like Mantis and Nightman, which was actually a comic book originally. But I got to showcase a bunch of stuff here. I got to eventually get back into the secret room. You guys want to do another video in the secret room soon? I can actually do one this week, if you want, before I go to Morocco, maybe. He did a lot of stuff, that actor. He was a big actor. I know they say now is a golden age for television with things like, with a lot of the shows that are coming out. But for me, that still was a golden age of TV for me. I loved watching things like that. I loved Magnum PI. I thought it was a fantastic series. And the original Magnum PI. I watched the first pilot episode of the new Magnum. Was not a huge fan. I don't know if it gets better. Oh, Freeway. When you said Freeway, like I didn't even think about that. I thought about the movie. 70s and 80s we were TV. Well, for me too. Like I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s. A lot of people like Small Wonder. I watched Small Wonder when I was younger. Vicky, right? That's the character's name, right? The robot's name was Vicky. So like, for me, like watching shows like Happy Days and Three's Company and Magnum PI and The Equalizer, those were my shows. And the cheesy ones like Manimal. And getting to see, like in the 80s, also Jeremy Brett started doing Sherlock Holmes. Did I like different? I did, but I like Family. I like the not Family Ties. I love Family Ties, but Facts of Life, even more. I do have the Avengers. Well, not Story of the Complete series. It's like it doesn't have the first couple seasons, but it's got the MPO years. I remember Jabba, the very first day when More Community premiered on TV. Clearly. I can remember that clearly. Not as clearly, though, as I remember the very first day that that Joni Loves Chachi premiered on TV, because I thought Happy Days is a really good show. Joni's really cute, and I was of that age. So Joni Loves Chachi must be going to be an amazing series. So the night comes that it's gonna premiere, right? Joni Loves Chachi. I'm riding my bike, and I realize, did you get any good stuff? That Joni Loves Chachi is coming on, and I totally forgotten about it. So I go to stop my bike, and what I normally do, because I'm a kid, I'm a show off type thing, is I'll kind of slow the bike down a bit, and I'll just like flip off the bike, and don't wait for it to stop, because I kind of like just flip off the bike and kind of just guide the bike like this. Unfortunately, they just put new gravel rocks in the in the driveway next to which was the bakery next to my house. So I didn't know that. So I go to flip off my bike. My bike flips over me. My knees go down. They're ripping my jeans. I'm ripping through, well, the skin on my knees and here. And I go in to watch Joni Loves Chachi, a bloody mess. And I am literally like waiting for commercials to come on so that I can go and clean myself up. It was not worth it. He was in as far as in one episode of Happy Days. He wants to kind of get back at the Fonz, like to kind of just come in like. But he was really good on Family Ties. He was the uncle on Family Ties, and he had a drinking problem. And he showed up in a few different episodes. And I remember the first one, the drinking problem episode, where it really got in. He tries to get like a job at Michael's like workplace. That stuck with me as a kid. It was lonely. I was on my own, but my better half got to be with her family, and there's some stuff going on there right now. So it was good. She got to see her family and her sisters and stuff for the first time in a long time all together. And the fact that that made her happy, it made it a wonderful Christmas for me. Either way, I did like Laverne and Shirley. I had a crush actually on one of them from Laverne and Shirley. I won't tell you which one though. Cowboy. Hey. Yeah, that's the thing that kills me, but the Happy Days ones is the song rights. Because there's so many songs that they couldn't get because of that. I remember an early episode of Happy Days where Richie is trying to tell this girl that he likes her, and he really sucks at it. When he gets around her, he can't talk. So eventually he says, well, just draw it, use chalk, put it on the pavement. So he does. He writes kind of like in a puzzle way. He puts down an I and a heart and a sheep for like I love you, but she sees it as that he loves sheep. So yeah. Has this Lou Grant ever gotten released on DVD or Blu-ray? I remember watching Lou Grant when I went into journalism. That's one of the first things I did. But not so much for Lou Grant, because I was more of like I was into like gonzo journalism fan, but I did love Lou Grant. The cast like sued for. I did not know about the Happy Days thing. I gotta look that up. Charles in charge. I want Charles in charge of me, and I'm gonna try to sing it, especially tonight. But yeah, I remember that. Jennifer Runyon, who was in Up the Creek, and she's the girl at the beginning. Remember Ghostbusters? So at the beginning of 1984 Ghostbusters film, when Bill Murray is doing the psychic test, there's a girl, this really gorgeous blonde girl, and she's getting all the stuff wrong, and he's saying that she's correct. because he's kind of hitting on her. And she's seen again in the scene at the in the library with the library ghost. That that's Jennifer Runyon. She was in Charles in Charge. She was his girlfriend actually for part of it at least, because he changed the cast partway through Charles in Charge. It's always so weird seeing Henry Winkler now. He's such a cool dude, and he's such a good actor. He still does stuff. Henry Winkler still does stuff. He had like a few shows over the years. Obviously, well, I remember back from the '90s in Scream as the principal. Sidney Brady. Yeah, that's right. She took over the role of Sidney Brady for that film. She's on my me too, actually. She's extremely sweet. I think if she's what I'm thinking of, I think she married like Roger Corman's son. Was it Corman's son? Jennifer Runyon married Corman's son, and they like became rich doing something else. Or am I thinking of somebody? I might be thinking somebody else completely with the married thing. You probably know, Mike. You might know. It is okay, good. Because yeah, like they kind of doing their own thing. Is she involved in the lawsuit that they were going to do, or did they work that out? Barry, I love Barry. Why didn't I not think of Barry? That was a show. I remember watching the first season of Barry, and that like certain episodes of Barry, when you get to it, it hits you. It's kind of like I watched You season 2 came on Netflix, and I sat down and I binged it like all the way through because I'm a huge fan of that series. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked You. I like You season 1. I like season 2 even better. So if you are a fan of it at all, second season is better than the first one. Yes. More of the useless knowledge that I got that's never going to be useful anywhere else. But right here. Oh, Ron, yeah, produces, directs. Of course, he's a big director back in the day. A lot of those like went on to direct. You know, of course, Rob Reiner, you know, from one of my favorite shows, All in the Family, went on to become a really, you know, prominent director as well. Doing some of my favorite films of all time, actually. Princess Bride is is another favorite of mine. And my better half has a shirt with "As You Wish" from Princess Bride on it, and she said, you know, "As you wish" is probably the three most romantic words that she's ever heard. And it's from The Princess Bride. And if you've never seen them, please see The Princess Bride. If you've never seen it, it's a really good film. But if you've seen it, then you know exactly why she said that. Why those words are so romantic, especially to girls. And to me, actually, too. Because was that day, I looked at her and I said, that's what I said to her, "As you wish." The only ink credit I remember, dude, is I think I know the one you're talking about. I don't know if I've seen it. Do you remember the '90s film, The Ink Crowd? Like it was a thriller. I know I got it over there somewhere. I gotta have it over there somewhere. Like it came out probably around the same time Gossip and stuff did. Remember Gossip? Way people forgot it, but actually really good. Like hasn't been released. Okay. Then that's why I'm seeing it then. Or I've seen it on VHS and don't remember it. So many classic lines from the movie, the Princess Bride. How can I not have the Criterion of Princess Bride? I'm ashamed of myself. I need to get that. Oh, the Ink Crowd? I liked the film. I mean, like, I didn't get much play. Same as Gossip. So Gossip's getting more play now because the actors that were in it, and it's kind of got a resurgence. And it was a fun little film. That's like not enough people remember Hackers, and Hackers was so much fun. He was good in it too. Everybody was good in that film. Manny Patinkin was great in it. Cary Elwes was definitely at his best. Robin Wright is gorgeous in that. I think it was after that she left Santa Barbara, and then the other girl came on, Kimberly Arthur, who was also in Slumber Party Massacre 2. Everything connects. I've got a big whiteboard upstairs. It all connects. All these movies connect. I don't. Just joking. But anyway, here we go, guys. You know what time it is, right? I showed you the tin horror there earlier. I didn't know there was a Rocketeer black and white series, to be honest with you. I like King of the Rocket Man. Maybe that's the one you're talking about? She's the star of that, actually. It's okay. I mean, David Hess directed it. It's, you know, he didn't direct a lot of films. But I enjoy it. I'm not going to say it's a great film. It's not a great film. It's fun. If you're looking to see Jennifer Runyon, and like, I don't really think you get to see a lot of her there that way. But I think it's worth checking. If you like Christmas horror, I definitely would check it out. That's another film. Yeah, I'm a big Lauren Hardy fan. I like so much. I like Lauren Hardy. I'm a Chaplin fan. Buster Keaton, Harold Lloyd, you know, Kid. Abbott and Costello. I really need to get that set. I like too much. I wish I hated more stuff. Because if I hated more stuff, then it would be so much easier to collect, wouldn't it? Because if I was just like a hardcore horror movie fan and that was it and that's all I liked, then you know, I wouldn't have to worry about like buying Monty Python or Indiana Jones or my Dragon Ball Z collection or any of that stuff. But no, man, I unfortunately I like way too much. Anyway, I am out of no, I am Aaron. This is the Movie Library. You are the cult of cinema. You've got a really cool name. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. This could not happen without you. And I will continue to try and convince people like Kat there to go for some Arrow. I'll talk to you soon. Glad you could be here too.